Welcome back to the Kamikaze channel. In this video today we're talking again about cards in Genesis format that have too many points, and I hope that Konami does listen and maybe thinks about some of the points and adjusts them. I also made a part 1 of this video where I'm talking about hand traps and also board breakers and why I think that hand traps have too many points and people wouldn't play any of those. You can watch the video, I link it down in the description or also in the notification in the right corner, and yeah, you can watch it now or watch it later. There's no sequence in which you have to watch those videos, so you could watch this part 2 first and then go for the hand trap video, because in this video we're talking about some generic cards that are way too expensive in my opinion, and also I'm talking about engines that are too expensive that would be maybe a cool addition to the Genesis format and would be a nice gameplay, but cannot be played because the Konami just ranked them too high on the points list and should go down a bit, and then you could actually play those cool decks. Alright, let's get straight into it. Also guys, if you enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe. I'm really glad if you do. It would be really nice if I could get a YouTube partner and be able to get control over my ads. So yeah, please consider subscribing. It would be a super nice thing. The generic cards I want to talk about. The first thing is Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is at 100 points. So this is like super ridiculous, because I don't think Instant Fusion is that crazy, because also the targets that you can play with Instant Fusion have points, right? I just looked up some of those. There is Elder Entity Norden, which is at 91 points. Kid Colossus is at 50 points. Winda is at 60 points. Prankets Kid's Rocket Ride. Are You Afraid of Rocket Ride? It's at 0 points, but you have no Link mod, so is there a point in playing Prankets? So yeah, Millennium Eyes Restrict is at 0 points. Maybe this is the thing that people, that Konami is scared of. And also Predaplant, Abo, Melidus, those are the targets that I had in my mind. Predaplant, Millennium Eyes, and also Prankets Rocket Ride, those are all free. The other cards have points. But why is Instant Fusion at 100 points? I don't think this card is way too broken or something like that. I see no danger in moving this card down. I don't think this should be 100 points. I would say if your deck can play Instant Fusion and would profit from it, why not do it, make it 20? So you have a consideration, okay, I want to play this helps my deck, so I go for 20 points for, I don't know, 2 Instant Fusion, 40 points, and then I have a more consistent deck, but I can play less non-engine then, and then maybe give the Millennium Eyes Restrict some points that it's harder to play those together to just counter hand traps. So maybe this is a way, because if you want to counter hand traps, 20 points is also, I think, Called By. Yeah, Called By is also 20 points. So you could also play Called By if you want to counter hand traps. So I don't think there's a problem with Instant Fusion. So why is it 100 points? I don't understand that. My suggestion would be 20 points. I think that's fine. Maybe even go lower. I don't see an immediate danger in this card. Then the next card is 1-for-1. Like 91 points. Why, Konami? Why 1-for-1 isn't even a 1-for-1? It's a -1. Yeah, you can special summon one level 1 monster from hand or deck, but you have to discard one monster. You have to send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. So this is even a -1. I don't see an inherent reason why ever a deck should play this card at 91 points. If your deck benefits from that, why not playing this card? You just set it to 30 points or 33 points like all the other good searches and starters, and then maybe decks consider, okay, do I want to play hand traps on non-engine, or can I have a really big benefit from playing 1-for-1, and then I play, I don't know, 3 1-for-1, and you have to take this in consideration, right? You could play then 1-for-1 or Pot of Greed, right? So I think this is I don't understand it, why it's at 91 points. Just go down that people actually could consider playing it. It don't have to be really broken or stuff like that, right? But nobody would ever consider playing this at 91 points. A similar thing is with Reasoning. I think 50 points is a bit too high on reasoning. I think it should just be a bit lower, because some decks really want to play it, but if your deck is good with it, for example, Infernoid maybe wants to play that, but yeah, they shouldn't spend all their points on just reasoning. Maybe just and if they spend all their points, give them free reasoning. So I would say also go down for 33 points on reasoning. See what happens. I don't think this card is too dangerous, right? So they cannot play any other non-engine then if they play free reasoning. So I think this is fine to do, and go a bit down so people could actually consider playing this card, but 50, it seems a bit too high. The same, I think, is for card destruction and also reinforcement of the army. Those cards are both at 40 points, right? Card destruction, yeah, this could fix your hand and also get you to trigger some effects, but those cards are at 1 in the TCG, and rightfully so, but you just play those in every deck because those cards are free, right? It's a one-off that you can just put in your deck. If you draw it, it's a good card. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It just gives you just a little bit more of consistency, so you just play them. But there is no reason to play card destruction or reinforcement of the army when those are at 40 points, right? There's no, if there's a deck that wants to have a warrior, right? Let's say their starter is a warrior that they can just play at 3. Why should they spend 40 points to play it at 4, right? There's no reason. Just play hand traps, and 40 points is nearly 3 Ash Blossoms. So I see really no point at reinforcement of the army at 40 points. Also, card destruction. Just go down on those cards that there could be a consideration playing them. Yeah, I would say my suggestion would be also go down by 20 points. Give those 20 points, card destruction 20, also reinforcement of the army 20. So maybe if there are decks that really want to play those cards, they can play them at 3, and then they cannot spend those points on hand traps. So again, they have to make the consideration, which is the core thing about deck building in Genesis, right? That you have the option. Do I want to play strong non-engine, or do I want to play a super consistent deck but have really weak non-engine? And there are not a lot of non-engine that are super strong that's 0 points, right? So yeah, I think the next 2 cards also fall in the same roster. It's about Terraforming and Foolish, also at 1 in the normal TCG, because just in addition to a deck that just helps the deck at 1, because if you draw it, it's good. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because you maybe then draw the cards. But also the same thing applies to them with reinforcement of the army. So I would say also go down to 20 points. So Terraforming at 20 points, and then Foolish Warrior at 20 points. So people could actually consider if they want to have the extra consistency. So maybe there's a deck that really could consider playing Foolish Warrior, because this one is a 1-card starter in their deck. But then they have to spend the 20 points, and playing one, wasting 20 points for one, you could play for 21 points 7 Effect Whaler. I would always play the 7 Effect Whaler over that. So this has to be a deck that really benefits from playing 3 then, right? So I think just go down to 20 on both of those cards, so people could have a consideration in their head. And if that's not enough, if people still don't consider playing these cards, maybe go a bit down then in the next points list adjustment. But yeah, I think this could be a nice idea to just give people a bit more stuff to experience with, to experiment with, right? So yeah. Now, from the maybe hard stuff to some easy cards, Foolish Burial, Premature Burial and Monster Reborn. Premature Burial is 25 points, Monster Reborn 15 points. Those cards aren't even played in the TCG because they're too weak. Why do they have any points? I see really no reason. Those aren't consistency cards, they're just extenders, right? And I don't see any reason why those cards have points at all. go down to 0 points for Monster Reborn and Premature Burial, people wouldn't still play them. I don't think decks would play Monster Reborn even if it's at 0 points, right? So just go to 0 points. There's no reason why those cards have any points. I don't see those cards being strong. And I think Monster Reborn could then also be a super interesting card, because sometimes stealing cards from your opponent's graveyard is the better thing than reborning your own monster. So give us a bit way to experiment with such an old card like Monster Reborn. So maybe people play it if it's 0 points. And I don't think it would be super broken or way too strong. It would just be a fun thing to have, right? But why do these cards have points? Yeah, I know Premature Burial, there was some stuff that this card can be gift to the hand because it's not once per turn, then used again, but those are just combos in super strong combo decks. And if it's a problem, just give those cards points again, right? Or maybe address the combo deck. Maybe it's the problem that there's a combo deck that's way too strong and can just do stuff like that. Yeah, but I don't see a reason why those cards have points at all. And the last card from the generic cards I want to talk about is Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow is a super controversial card. I think momentarily banned in TCG, and probably rightly so. But here it's at 85 points. I don't think it deserves 85 points, because let's be real, this card is a big problem when you have link monsters in the game, because you can just endlessly loop it then. If you have 7 cards in the graveyard, reborn it, link it away, reborn it again, and yeah, this is a problem then. But in Genesis format, you don't have link monsters. The only things you can do is maybe synchros or XYZs with it, so but I don't think that this would be a problem. I don't want this to have 0 points, but nobody would ever consider playing this at 85 points. Go down by a lot. Go down to, I don't know, 30 points. So people that have a deck that mills or that maybe can send this card would consider playing that, and then maybe they have the 30 points to spend, maybe Lights On or something like that. They have the 30 points to spend to play this card, and yeah, maybe we could see some Fairy Tale Snow action. But yeah, maybe I'm seeing something that this card could be unhealthy, but I don't think it would be too unhealthy, because 30 points is a lot. You could play a lot of non-engine for 30 points, trust me. If there's a consideration playing in my deck as Fairy Tale Snow or Free Forbidden Droplet, you would know which cards I would pick. So yeah, but I think you could try to put this at 30 points, and maybe people could cook something, and yeah, give us some free room to experiment. All right, that's it for the generic cards. Please tell me in the comments what you think about what I was saying about my options, about the points I went down. Would you go even down further, or would you say it's too dangerous to go down on points at those cards? So yeah, just tell me what you think. And now we are coming to the next point in this video. Let's talk about engines or decks that I think are hit way too hard. And what could be a better way to begin with than Swordsoul, Tenyi or Worm deck, right? Why is this deck hit so hard? Yeah, let's just go for the points first. We have Moye on 3 points. We have Longyuan on 5 points. We have Swordsoul Emergence at 33 points. We have Incredible Ecclesia at 3 points, because all the Ecclesias are at 3 points. And also we have Swordsoul Grandmaster Yugioh at 33 points. And we also have the Tenyi engine hit with Ashuna at 33 points, and also they cannot play Monk of the Tenyi because it's a link monster. So the Tenyi engine is inherently hit because of the format, and also Ashuna on 33 points. I don't see this. I mean, yes, Swordsoul is a super cool and good synchro deck, right? It was meta at some point in the TCG, but why in Genesis format hit this deck so hard? They are really reliant on their secondary engine, which is Tenji, and Tenji is not really good. This would already be a good hit, but why give everything points on that, right? How would I fix this, right? Go for Moye 0 and Longyan 0. Those don't have to have any points. Also, Ashina, there is no reason that Ashina has any points. 33 points is completely ridiculous because, as I said, Tenji is completely hit. They cannot play Link monsters. They don't have an extra deck, and they need a normal monster to be on the field to use their effect. They only have Draco Berserker of the Tenji. That's the only thing that they can play. So there is no reason that Ashina has points, right? So just don't give points to the Swordsoul main deck monsters. No points on Ashina, and I don't think Ecclesia needs any points. Go down on 0 also for Incredible Ecclesia. And then people would consider playing this with 1 Emergence and 1 Yugioh. I would also say go down on Emergence. Why does it have 33 points? Let those people have the consideration. Do I want to play 2 Emergence or more hand traps? Give it 20 points, right? So Emergence at 20 points. So if you play 2 Emergence, you have 34 points. You have 40 points. If you then also want to play Yugioh, you're at 73 points. So you could play some hand traps, or if you want to play more hand traps, go down to 1 Emergence. So you're at 53 points. So you could spend 47 points on hand traps. So I think this is. Then people could consider playing this deck, but like that, why should you, right? You cannot, even if you want to play this deck. So only let the points on Emergence and also on, I think it's all right to have it on Yugioh, and those other cards, they don't need any points at all. So please, Konami, listen to this. Swordsoul is super cool and healthy deck. There's no reason why this deck has to have so many points. The next thing I want to talk about, I already mentioned the Ecclesias before in the Swordsoul part, but now I want to talk about it again. All the Ecclesias have 3 points. We have Quem at 3 points, we have Incredible Ecclesia, we have Dogmatica Ecclesia, and also Blazing Cartesia at 3 points. So I said again about the Swordsoul Ecclesia, the Incredible Ecclesia go down for 0. The same thing applies to the others. Forgetting Quem, this card is not too strong. It's a one-off in a branded deck. Branded has already so many points on so many things. Why also have it on Quem, right? So let Branded have a bit more freedom and give them the Quem on 0 points. It's only 3 points, right? But I don't see it why Quem has to have points. The same goes for Cartesia. Fusion decks are already hit super hard on this Genesis list. Just free Cartesia. I don't see a reason why this has to have 3 points. Just make it a bit more easy to spend your points, right? And then so you don't have to randomly not play hand traps because you want to play Cartesia, right? And just give fusion decks some ability to play with Cartesia and some generic cards. And also Dogmatica Ecclesia. Please let Dogmatica play, right? We have Nadir's Servant also at 33 points. Yes, I do think Nadir's Servant is a strong card in this format, but Nadir's Servant is super much needed in a Dogmatica Pure deck, and Dogmatica Pure was never a way too strong deck, and also we have something like Herald that's hit really strong. So Herald is at 50 points. In Dogmatica, you kind of have to play Herald with Nadir to be able to search your rituals. So it's already hard. And also Dogmatica Pure needs link monsters so they can be able to special summon their Maximus, because they want to go into the Almirage and then link it away for Secure Gardener, so they can special summon their Ecclesia from the hand, because then they could just link away their normal summon, which they cannot do in Genesis. And also they want to send the Herald of Arclight, which is 50 points in the Genesis format, to search the rituals. So I don't see any reason why Ecclesia has 3 points. I actually think Herald of the Arclight needs to stay at 50 points. I think this card is ridiculous. But go down on Ecclesia, Dogmatia Ecclesia for 0 points, and also go down on Nadir Servant. This is only scary if it's at 0 point. We don't want it at 0 points. Other decks would play this as an engine card. It would just be played in pure Dogmatica. But you cannot afford to even play Enter-Sten if you want to play a 3 Nadir Servant. And playing 1, it just seems like the biggest troll ever, because you cannot search Nadir Servant. Other searches, like the Searchable Emergence, can be searched, but Nadir Servant you cannot search. It's not a Dogmatica card. So playing 1 is like completely troll. So just go down maybe on 15 points so that the normal Dogmatica deck can actually play this card, right? And Dogmatica is already hit enough, so why give it so many points on Nadir Servant? I don't see that. Yeah. Now for fusion engines or fusion decks in general, we have Light End Sublimation Dragon and Dark End Evaporation Dragon at 5 points. Why? Those cards aren't strong or something like that. You will be locked immediately into dragons if you special summon them by their summoning condition. And also, yeah, you kind of played them in Dracotail in the TCG, but they hit Dracotail like ridiculously in this format, and I don't think Dracotail is way too strong. I think it's good that they hit Dracotail, but I don't see why then also hint the Dark End Evaporation Dragon and the Light End Sublimation Dragon. So go down for 0 points. Why are those cards on this list? Those aren't strong or something like that. So I don't see a reason. Just go down to 0 points on those cards. Let us experiment with those cards. And also, Frightful Patchwork is at 33 points. Edgem Chain and Polymerization is at 0 points, but why Patchwork at 33 points? This card is not too crazy. And you also have like Guardian Chimera at 33 points. So together with this, you don't have to have both at 33 points. I see no reason. Go down on 5 points or 10 points. Let's go like you have a strong search card for rituals, which is pre-prep. Right, pre-prep is at 10 points. Why is the fusion equivalent to that card, which is Frightful Patchwork? Why is this one at 33 points and the ritual card at 10 points? I see no reason for that. Go down to 10 points for Patchwork, and then it's fine, right? Then you can search your Edgem, search your Poly. Just give us the options to play some fusion decks. Why are you afraid of fusion decks? Those are actually kind of fun. And also for the Chimera deck, this is also hit pretty strong. You have the Codal at 33 points, which is ridiculous, and also the Nightmare Apprentice. I don't think you have to hit those both, right? Nightmare Apprentice, yeah, I see that, why this is hit, maybe because it's also a body that you can overlay for rank 6, which could be really strong. So yeah, maybe let the Nightmare Apprentice stay at 33 points. Playing 1 is enough, you can search this. But why have the Codal at 33 points? Go down to 5 if you want to have some points on the deck, or go down to 10. But 33 seems ridiculous, right? So yeah, please let us play some fusion decks, Konami. The next deck I want to talk about is, or the next engine rather, is Dragons. We have Starlich Seyfert at 33 points and also Chaos Dragon Levianair at 10 points. Konami, why are you afraid of Dragon Link in Genesis format? It's literally called Dragon Link, right? You cannot play Striker Dragon in Genesis. Why does Seyfert have 33 points? Yeah, maybe you could search for Bestials with this card, but it's ridiculous that this one has 33 points. I don't think it has to have any points. Go down for 0 or for 5 maybe. And also Levianair. Levianair doesn't have to have any points, right? Yeah, this rips a card off the hand, but I don't think this is like too strong or something like that. I don't see a reason why this card needs points. Then for some ritual supports cards, I actually talked about pre-prep and also preparation of rites. Those are at 10 and 5 points. I think those are perfectly fine. Their ritual decks could play those to have some support, maybe stuff like Necros or something like that needs this. But I see the Viner at 33 points, and I think, why is this at 33 points? Yes, it does surge, but your best target, which is Herald of the Arclight, is at 50, which I think should stay there, as I said before. Never would ever play or consider playing Diviner of Herald at 33 points when you have Herald of the Arclight at 50. So you have to play it for its other effect that special summons a level 2 or lower fairy monster from hand or deck. So this would be the only consideration to play this card, but 33 points for that is too expensive. So I think you should go down a bit on this card. Maybe go for 15 points. I think this could be fine. So you have pre-prep at 10, Preparation of Rites at 5, and then Diviner of Herald at 15 points. So let's see, then maybe people could consider playing this in their engine, maybe experiment a bit with it, and then they could also experiment playing it together with Herald of the Arclight, because Herald of the Arclight 50, and then if you want to play free Diviner, you have to spend 45 points, then you only have 5 points left, right? So you have to spend your whole points to play this, and then you cannot play any strong non-engine. So I think this would be fine to experiment with it. So go down to 15 points with Diviner of the Herald, so people, when Diviner is at 15 points, would maybe consider playing it. The next thing I want to talk about is Diabellstar, the Black Witch. It's heavily hit in this format. It has itself, Diabellstar, at 20 points. It has Deception of the Sinful Spoils at 33 points. It has Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils at 33 points. We have Original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye at 100 points. We have Azamina Ilia Silva at 20 points, and also Azamina Mu Resiliago at 33 points. I don't know if you have to do this. I don't think you have to. Yeah, some of those cards are completely fine. For example, I think it's alright to have Original Sinful Spoils at 100 points, although you don't have Link monsters in this format, right? So it's not as scary to special summon a Snake Eye Ash with this, but I think it's still fine to not have this. It's also banned in the TCG, so I think it's fine, but also Wanted probably at 33 points, perfectly fine. Also, I think Azamina Ilia Silvia to have a 20 is fine, because it's non-negate, it's super strong. But I don't agree with Diabellstar having at 20 points if you already have Wanted at 33 points. Go down on Diabellstar, give it maybe 5 points. You could consider playing it at 5 points. So play 1 Wanted and 3 Diabellstar in your deck, and then also go down with Deception on, I don't know, 10 points or something like that. You also want to search this with Diabellstar, but then if you cannot play as many Wanted, maybe you play more Deception then, and also go down with most Resiliago at 10 points. So you have Diabellstar at 5, Deception at 10, and also Azamina Resiliago at 10, and then you have Ilia Silva at 20 and Wanted at 33. So you actually have a consideration on playing those cards and not being able to play those at all. So yeah. And I also now want to talk about Blue Eyes. We have Wishes with for Eyes of Blue at 33 points. I tried to play Blue Eyes without the Link 1 monster and without being able to search the field spell. This deck is it's super bad. It's not consistent. It's super inconsistent. You don't have a strong board that you can end on, and you cannot break boards. Yeah, you can play a lot of non-engine if you only play 1 Wishes, but it's super bad. This deck just it's super bad. You cannot play it. In my opinion, this deck is one of the worst decks you could try to play. So give them the Wishes for free. Why does the Wishes have to cost points? This deck is super hardly hit by not being able to play the Link 1. This just yeah. Also, having your True Light consistently popped by a deck like Radiant Typhoon that can easily search Mystical Space Typhoon, or also a lot of other decks have a lot of pops in this format, so it's super hard to play Blue Eyes. Give them something back. So Blue Eyes Enjoyers could play their Blue Eyes, it would still be a bad deck, even if they have wishes for free. I really tried to play it. It was such a bad experience, and I was really sorry for all those Blue Eyes Enjoyers out there that cannot play such a cool deck in such a cool format, right? So yeah. And the last deck I want to talk about is Labyrinth. We have some pretty strong hits at Labyrinth. We have Welcome Labyrinth at 33 points. We have a big Welcome Labyrinth at 33 points. And we also have Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle at 33 points. So technically, you could play each of those cards once and then are out of all 3 points. I don't think Labyrinth is a huge problem in this format. I think it's fine that Big Welcome and Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle have 33 points, but I don't think the Welcome Labyrinth needs 33 points. Go down on Welcome Labyrinth, maybe give it 10 points or something like that, so they could play multiple Welcome Labyrinth and could actually play their deck, because a lot of the super strong floodgate traps are actually hit, so there's no dim barrier that they can just search with it. So I think this could be an experiment, and also the format has a lot of combo decks, and yeah, if they do not draw their traps that they can activate in the first turn, right, it's hard for them to play. They can also not play stuff like Impulse or Imperm. This is also super hard for them, so I don't think this deck would be a huge problem. Give them something back, give them yeah, give them a bit more room to play with. Go down on 10 points with Welcome Labyrinth. Yeah, that's my suggestion. You should try it. I think Labyrinth is a cool deck, and it could bring a lot of fun into the Genesis format. All right, yeah, that's it for the decks I had that I want to see go down a bit and being able to play in the Genesis format. If you stayed until here, thank you so much for watching. Please also consider subscribing, and please also tell me your comment. Tell me your comment. Tell me your opinion in the comments. I will read all the comments as I always do, and also tell you then my opinion in the comments. So yeah, please leave a comment and tell me what you think about the picks I made, about how I explained it, and maybe also you have cards that want to see go down that I haven't seen there. Please also tell me that in the comments. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.